It is a race to 6, 30 minutes on the match clock. He's taking on the French superstar Christophe Lambert, and we are underway. Simon Webb and Collins Newey's with you for this one. Collins, I know you weren't here this afternoon, but great to have you here this evening. So much excitement. How much are you looking forward to this, and how much did you get to see?
So I was traveling all day, pardon me, but I did pick up as much as I could of the stream when I wasn't in the air, and I am super impressed with not only the quality of the coverage, but this is the first time that I've followed this format, the ultimate pool format, like in depth through an event, and I find it really entertaining.
There's something about the match clock that just creates drama.
Yeah, it's interesting, and just kind of seeing how some of these guys that maybe haven't played it as much are weeding their way through it. So Tyler Styer, for instance, this is, I think, the first time he's played in one of these events.
It certainly is, yeah.
Yeah, and I've interacted with him a fair amount off the table, and so just kind of seeing, like, I know how he deals with problems, you know what I mean, like, and so it's interesting to see how he's working through the format, and it seems like, at least in the first match, things went pretty well.
Yeah, it took a while to get going. Obviously, he was chasing his tail pretty much the whole match. So Cleve Thompson got off to a flyer, but got over the line in that 6-ball shootout. And here he is up against Christophe Lambert, who was brilliant. Got off to a flying start in his last 16 match, but he's going to have to sit in his chair. Mistake straight away from Christophe, and what an opportunity this for Tyler to get off to the quick start.
Yeah, heck of a spread of the balls here. It's once you get through the first couple shots here and make your decision with the pattern, it should be pretty routine to get out here, I would think. Obviously, the problem here, or if you can even call it a problem for a guy of Tyler Styer's level, is the 4-ball, kind of mildly covered by the 7 on the rail there. But everything else is accessible from the middle of the table. 7-ball in a decent spot there. After coming into contact with it, he should be able to access it again. It would have been really bad if it got real close to that point, but it turned out pretty good there.
Maybe would have liked an extra couple of turns on it just to get it a bit more over the middle, but
yeah, that would have been nice.
In an ideal world.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's what we do as pool players, right? Is we're constantly solving problems. So
yeah, and from the commentary box, I spend my time kind of looking for the problems. So
that's right. Yeah.
It's a bit touch short on this one as well.
Yeah, it looks like the 3 does pass the 11. I mean, it looks like half a pocket, but let's see if he decides to swing the cue ball at all here. And he does.
He's still by it. Yeah. Just about.
Yeah, it looks pretty doable from here. So familiarize me a little bit more with. I know that and we've probably gone over this a bit throughout the day, but some of the subtle differences between traditional, like American pool, like 8-ball pool, and the international 8-ball rules. 8 on the snap counts.
Yeah, only in certain tournaments.
Okay.
So it's a tournament rule. It's not part of international 8-ball rules. So it's for certain tournaments like the shootout.
Sure.
It won't be in play in the Louisiana Open. It's just in play in the Louisiana Shootout. But they're very minor differences. Some of them make bigger differences than others that we'll cover as we go through when they crop up through the tournament. But one of the, I guess, what we've seen so far, 8-ball gets wrapped on the spot, which is new, and I know that's something that Tyler really likes. He really embraced that when he played his first match.
Okay.
But there's a few, but they're all subtle. They're all that sort of level. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, Tyler's gone about this pretty well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
It's simple 8-ball for him. He is up and running. It took him a while to get going in his match this afternoon. Shake of the head, not happy with the pattern he put together.
Well, when he hit that 7-ball there, he hit it really thick, and it kind of helped him out because it slowed the cue ball down a little bit. I don't think he was intending to hit it quite that thick, but he caught the rail on the way in, and the pocket was pretty forgiving for him, and it worked out. So.
And he's won in different disciplines as well. He's played, predominantly 8-ball is his game, in English ball.
Right.
But he's played plenty of American ball. He's played plenty of snooker. He's a French snooker champion. He's a brilliant all-round player.
Yeah, this is a really nice spread again, and even though there's a little bit of congestion on the top left quarter of the table as we're looking at it right now, it should be workable, especially with solids. If you can get an ideal angle on the 5-ball right here where he can escape the congestion without having to run into anything, it opens the rack wide open if he gets on the next ball, which I would assume he would. Looks like he's going to pass on the angle he has on the 5-ball right now and come back to it later. Maybe he wants something a little bit steeper. But obviously, when you're potting the 5-ball, you don't want to be running into those stripes. Unless you're using it as your key ball, you could shoot the 8 in the bottom. The side pocket at the bottom of our screen. Or pardon me. That's right. I forgot. I'm not looking at all the same monitors that everyone else is.
No, exactly. We're blessed here in the commentary box. We've got everything we want. We've got a really good view.
Yeah. So it does look like he's using the 5-ball here as his key ball to get on the 8.
Yeah, he's going to have to do some mileage with the cue ball, which isn't ideal.
Coming into a pretty narrow window for ideal position here. This cue ball is going to want to run too. Going to want to have to use, it's easy to overlook the part of the pocket that you're hitting the 7-ball into here, because if you hit it into the thin side of the pocket, the cue ball goes crazy. You hit it into the thick side of the pocket. Wow, he really hit that perfectly.
How good is that? What a shot.
Yeah, he hit it into the thick side of the pocket and drew the cue ball to the short rail to come one rail to the perfect angle on the 5. That was a great shot.
Yeah, beautiful shot making from Christophe Lambert. Simple 8-ball to complete the job. Yeah, really good stuff from iRobot, and he's up and running here in the quarterfinals.
This guy's got a heck of a break when he wants to get into the ball. About 3 times as high as that.
Yeah.
But obviously trying to control the ball a little bit better here. He lost the cue ball a little bit though, to the other end of the table, and it makes the first shot here a little bit more choosy. You know, do you take the easy pot of the one in the side and try to negotiate, your pattern later, or do you take a tougher shot now to open things up? But I don't think there's really any other options. A stripe all the way across the table, but that doesn't do anything for you because the 9's tied up with the 6 anyway. Looks like he's cutting the 5 here. He is. And opening things up. Here we go.
Yeah, trying to make something happen, and he'll be thrilled with that.
Yeah. I'd say rolled the dice, but I don't think he rolled the dice at all. I think he knew almost every collision that he was going to run into there. That was a great shot. Cue ball came out in a great spot, too. Now one more problem here. Try to set up some kind of layup where he can easily nudge the 6-ball, unless it goes clean now. Can he twist it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, but he's getting down on it, so...
Yeah,
really nice. And that means there are no problems.
Yeah. Can't imagine that he'd play the... I mean, you'd have to play... I guess you could play the 2-1 combo here. You just want to make sure that the 2 holds really thick and doesn't move much. This is what I would think he would do, is to play the 3-ball and reposition yourself so it's easier to control the balls off the combo. So it's better to shoot the 4-ball into the 1, because if it drifts along the long rail a little bit, you're not losing the run out, right?
Absolutely,
yeah.
And it's easier to hold it there as well, because it's a much straighter line in as well.
Right, where even though he was really straight on the combo before, he might have lost the 2 drifting off towards the 14 there, but and even here, if the ball follows the other ball in, there's nothing wrong with it because he's got insurance with the 2-ball. Really smart play right there.
Yeah, another really nice visit to the table.
Yeah. So far, it's been perfect play except for the one. It was a mistake in the first rack.
Yeah, just the one error, because it was a dry break from Tyler, and then a mistake from Christophe went in off, and that's it. The scratch was the only error. And Tyler did the rest in the opening frame, and then next two have both been from the rake. Oh dear.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And this where these matches can hinge when it's, standard is so high. That can be the difference.
especially with alternate break. And look at the spread here. I know that it's I know that there's a little bit of clustering happening on one side of the table here, but it's definitely manageable at this level of play. So obviously ball in hand behind the head string.
Yeah, behind the head string.
Break.
And one of the things that it might be a minor difference to some players that are playing, he can go in any direction.
Okay.
Which is, a huge advantage,
yes.
rather than having to come down the table.
But it just limits where you can start from.
Yes, it basically just has to be behind the head string.
Got it.
Unless you, if you didn't scratch and you jump the cue ball off the table, then it is anywhere on the table.
Oh, okay. So cue ball in a pocket on the break.
Yeah.
Is in the kitchen, and then off the table completely. True ball in hand. Okay, good. Very interesting, nuanced difference there, but subtle and kind of a cool. I think it's kind of a cool rule set, actually.
I think it's simple, which is what I really like. It's it's a very simple rule set, which is good. But obviously, anyone that's played anything else their whole life, it might not be.
Oh, I'm sure.
But honestly, I promise you, I didn't grow up playing this rule set. I grew up playing a different rule set altogether. And once I realised how good this was, it was like, this is what we should be playing.
Right. Yeah, and now he's just like in the perfect spot on the table to do whatever he wants to finish this thing up. So it's not looking good for the Frenchman. He is from France, right?
He is.
Okay. Yeah.
Sort of north of Paris.
Gotcha. I still haven't been to Europe yet. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
but
get yourself over.
Yeah, I gotta hop the pond.
That was lovely control. Just means it makes it so simple now. It's drop-ins rather than having to work with cue ball at all.
Right, and you actually want a little bit of an angle moving towards the edge so you can, follow that. Yeah, it's like dead perfect here. He might even just stop the rock too, because it is not that long of a shot, and you could get clean cueing past the 6. You know what I mean? If you're ever worried about having to get hindered by the 6 ball, some guys might even just stop the rock right there, but. Textbook stuff right there from Tyler Styer. Kind of losing the cue ball again. It's ending up on the short rail. Does he make a ball? No ball down. And kind of lucky, honestly, for Christophe here, with the 6 ball laying up right over the corner pocket. Next to the cue ball, giving him basic, full freedom to get almost anywhere on the table with the cue ball.
And he would always take solids with that layout as well, so it's just ideal.
Yeah. Unlucky time for Tyler to come up dry.
Not the best first shots, though, from Christophe. I'm not sure how good he is on the next ball.
Yeah, the 3 doesn't pass. This 4 ball is kind of a blind cut into the other corner here, and it's tough to keep a leash on the cue ball here because you've always got that kind of corner pocket. Maybe if the scratch isn't there, you might be afraid of a ticky. Oh, he cuts it back the other way.
Yeah, that's a nicely controlled shot. He really digged in to get that, make sure he got that full ball cannon just so that he controls the cue ball.
Yeah, but he's got problems to deal with here. He's got a really narrow window to fall on the 2 ball, I think, if it passes the 10 in the corner. Could also potentially maybe use it to use the 3 maybe to access the 2 ball in the side past the 8 if it goes, but it's tough to tell where the 2 ball has a pocket, if it even does. So everything else in the open. So if there is something that he can do, he's going to be able to do it, I would think. So. Interesting spot here. Do you go with the clean screw back, or do you go with the cheat the pocket, go forward?
I always want to use a cushion or a rail, but it's...
Yeah. Sometimes it can be tough to judge the slide of the table when you're using cushions when the object ball is that close to the cushions. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the cue ball can kind of get a funny slide off of one of them and go in an unpredictable way. So
I think if the 13's not on the cushion there, he'll always use the cushion. But I think had to avoid it. And it answers the question. The 2 does pass, so he's in pretty good shape.
Little body English there. Does he tend to?
He does that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of the tendencies he has. It almost looks like a huge intensity on the shot.
Mm-hmm. Reminds me of a player named Gerson Martinez, pool player, that moves like you wouldn't believe every time he goes through the ball. And you think that he's missing the ball every time he moves, but it goes in the middle of the hole, and you're like, how the heck does he do it? It's amazing. That's probably fair. Big break here. He's got a couple balls down. Couple issues on the table. Either way you go here, it looks like, but maybe stripes are a little bit more ideal, other than the fact that the 8 is tied up with all the solids on the spot.
He's got some good balls around the 8 though, and he can deal with this one at the top straight away.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that.
Yeah, the way the stripes are laid on that other side of the table near the corner, it almost looks like a drill. Just ready to go all in the same hole and try to find an ideal time to maybe nudge the 8 or nudge the solids nearby. Better to do it when you have insurance, though. When you have another ball sitting there that you can use as insurance to make sure that you've got something to shoot after the shot. Because anytime you get an extra collision, it can be kind of tough to judge exactly how it's going to turn out.
I wonder if he wanted, obviously he bumped the 7 on the way down then, but if he gets to the left-hand side as we were looking at that shot, he could have played that cannon whilst controlling himself on the 9, and
mm-hmm.
he ended up too straight.
Mm-hmm.
So he maybe just missed a trick there.
Yeah, the rack is pretty interesting from here with where that 8's sitting. I'm curious to see where we end up. Could he be using the 9 as insurance and just barely nudging the 8 right now? Or is he too full on the 12 ball to get it?
It looks a little full. I mean, in an ideal world, you'd love to be, a few balls higher, but you'd almost better to be the other side of this one, but didn't have that luxury.
The 8 must have a pocket.
Yeah. He was trying to be ultra precise there, because if he gets the cue ball an extra turn to the left as we look, then he can just make the 9 and just bump into the 2.
Is he maybe kind of checking out the bank here? Does he, pardon me, does he bank the ball rather well? Or?
Yeah, he does. But I think if he can just control the cue ball, he can get the cut on the 8. Yeah, he's looking at the cut now, so there's just enough room to get through.
Good stuff. Center of the bag. I'm curious to see if he's going to try to correct that or if he's just going to keep hitting it the same way that he has been to maybe avoid kisses in the middle of the table. And he's come up dry again.
He had it working in his first match. Not so much this time. Nearly lost the cue ball again into the...
Yeah, it was going straight towards the corner. Had a little bit of overspin on it that saved him, but maybe not saved him, because now you've got a gentleman here that's been playing some pretty jam-up runouts on some complicated runouts. So, yeah, let's see what he goes for the opener here. Plays the 1 in the side, trying to kiss the 4 out, gets a perfect rub off the 14 ball, and all of a sudden things are looking fairly doable. Now the 2 ball's the question mark. If you can clear the 5 out before you get on the 2 somehow, then the 6 ball goes in that bottom right corner. So, first question mark answered.
Yeah, there's still work though, isn't there?
Yeah, maybe 2 questions to go. He's going after it right now. Wow.
What a shot.
Okay. just into the rail. Ticky, move the stripe out and leave yourself straight on the 2. Why not? This game is easy, Simon.
He's making it look easy, but he's playing some high-class shots though, isn't he?
Oh man.
I think it's the decision-making that's so good as well. Mm-hmm. You know, just attacked his two big problems straight away.
Yeah. You know, this is one of those games that people who don't play the game a lot kind of see it as a game that is you're either good at it or you're not. You know what I mean? But these guys are just on another level. It's like you take raw natural talent and then a work ethic that would probably drive some people crazy, and this is what you get.
Yeah, Christophe certainly has that. He's been here for a few days and putting the hours in, and that's once you get to the venue.
That always happens, right? When you sing someone's praises, things get a little goofy.
Yeah, he just ended up a little thin, didn't he?
Yeah, he nudged the 3, right, and it actually ended up leaving him on the 50-yard line, well, close to it, and now he's got a really thin shot on either the 3 in the side or the 7 up table. Both ways, you kind of lose the cue ball. Yeah, judging the collision on the 9 ball there, and still things are interesting. You're either going to have to take a really tough shot on the 7 now or after this shot.
Neither way is particularly nice.
He's going to go now. Good news is, if the 7 goes, he's almost definitely going to have an open shot on the 2. 7 does go. And this is very manageable. You know, you can cinch the ball, which I would think most players wouldn't do because there's so much traffic right there. You can slide the cue ball across the table and play the 8 in the other side. Wow, he just hits it perfect, cinches it perfect. Really nice.
3 in a row, and we've just ticked into the final 10 minutes as well. 15 seconds a shot just came in for that final 8 ball.
Three straight up in the corner. A stripe finds a side pocket as well, but look at all the stripes aligned along the side rail, cluttering up the 4 ball as well. This is an interesting rack.
Yeah, it'd be fine if the 4 wasn't there, but the 4's in it as well.
Yeah. He just gets down and gets after it, right? 15-second shot clock now.
And this is one of the areas where you've got to give Christophe huge credit. You know, Christophe is notoriously a slow player, but in the 4 years he spent with Ultimate Ball as a professional, he's really had to work hard to speed up his general play so that when he gets into the 15 seconds, it isn't too much of a jarring change for him. And he's done an incredible job at it.
An interesting aspect to that really short shot clock, it's a really short shot clock, is when you get into complicated racks like this, you almost have to get good at not solving the problem instantly, but identifying which shot is going to allow you the most opportunity to figure out the rack. You know what I mean? Like, give you that time, right? Because you got to get down on the ball, you got to pull the trigger, and it looks like he goes for a safety play here.
Yeah, just came too far down the table and was going to use the 1 to play the breakout, but couldn't quite see it.
Yeah.
So after what feels like a lifetime for Tyler, he finally gets to play a shot and open play here.
And he's going to have to thin off a ball and go all the way to the other end of the table and hope to not leave something reasonable on this 7 ball because he's opening up the 4 for Christophe.
He's played a great shot there.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Christophe responds in kind. I would imagine Tyler's going to do something similar, especially since the 1 ball's tied up here. Well, maybe not, actually, because we're getting into territory of 7 minutes left. I don't know how to make the decision there.
Well, I think the one thing that Tyler has in his favour is he's played a match and it went deep this afternoon. So he knows that 7 minutes whilst it's going to tick away. There's no panic here. If he has to play another safety, he would. But I think he must feel like he fancies this. Time for Tyler to show us some shot making. No, he's going to pull back as well.
Yeah, he's taking advantage of the fact that the 1 and 7 are tied up there. And pardon me, sorry, placing the 14 in the middle of the table where if he does have any type of open shot, whether it be the 11 or the 14, he can probably do something about the stripes that are on the rail there. Look at this. Trying to get behind the balls that he just played the carom with.
How good is that?
Oh my gosh. That's sick. That's in my opinion, probably a match-winning shot.
Yeah, now he gets cue ball in hand. It could be huge.
Everything comes down to how these balls break apart as he goes into them. He's checking out the combo to see if it lays okay. Looks like he's committed because he's only got a few seconds here to shoot it.
Yeah, the clock's got him. Completely got him. He was still making his decision, then realized there was 3 seconds to play. He's just got to play the shot.
Yeah. Once you place the cue ball there to see if it goes and you turn around and you got 6 seconds left, it's time to go.
The interesting thing is once he got there and he wasn't sure what he was doing, you could just pull back. You know, he could have just rolled off it and left it horrible again.
Sure, yeah.
But it's so hard to sort of, you've earned your cue ball in hand, you want to go.
Yeah. Wow, that is a very interesting dynamic to this game that I've never considered. watching matches in the past. That is exciting.
Well, Tyler's made his combo, but does this squeeze in?
I believe he's got a pocket here, but it's not. You're not in love with shooting it, but you are in love with the fact that you're at the table.
100%. Yeah, plays it beautifully. Well, just gone under the 5-minute mark. This 8-ball through all square.
Yeah, what a game that was. That was an interesting game.
Yeah, that really was. It's been an incredible match, but that was a rack to enjoy.
For how he was losing the cue ball, and the cue ball's a little bit, like the direction of the cue ball is better, but it still ends up on the other short rail, and there's a lot of stuff going on down there. But luckily ends up with a straight shot down the rail if this 2-ball doesn't go.
Solids are pretty good here, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say if the 2-ball does go with the rail first, there's nothing wrong with shooting it now because it kind of opens things up for the 6, but at the same time, the 6-2 combo lays really nice as well for the middle of the table. So it looks like he's used an extension here. Plays the rail first, gets a shot on the 7-ball, 6-ball out in the middle of the table. With the way that the 3 and 5 are laying on the other side of the table as well, should be able to get there using the 6-ball to play both of those balls in the bottom left corner, or at least one of them, I would think. So all depends on how he lays here and where he can lay his cue ball after this shot. Saw the line there off the right side of the 6. Sorry, pardon me. Trying to get to the right side of the 6-ball right now so we can play 2 rails into that pocket. You know, the cue ball into that space between the 14 and the 3 and 5, the way they're sitting down there.
Looks
like pretty natural.
Yeah, he's got it exactly where he wants it. It's pace control now.
Ooh, he got a little funny clip off the point, makes him come up short. Caught the point of the pocket there, and it kind of killed the cue ball, slowed the cue ball down a bit. So now he's going to have to judge secondary contact after playing this shot. And how the cue ball and object ball are going to lay. And he's lost the 5-ball. A very makeable bank here, though. Just depends on how the rails are playing and how much he's practiced. You know, if the rails are playing slick and slidey, then it goes long. If they're playing kind of grippy, then it goes short, and he just finds the center of the pocket. Great shot.
Tyler Styer gets the job done. Over to Christophe Lambert. 2:20 left on the clock. Cue ball.
Oh, baby, right in the side pocket.
And that should be it for Christophe Lambert. Tyler Styer has the opportunity here. He just needs to steady himself and run clock. Doesn't need to necessarily make the finish. Doesn't need to get to 6. just needs to keep potting and let the clock run down.
As Christophe was walking away from the table, he was looking in the sky, and he sat down, put his hands in his face in his hands for a second. He knows. You can see shaking his head back there a little bit.
Yeah, he knows. He's been in this position before. He knows exactly what Tyler's about to do, and it would take a major mistake to get Christophe Lambert back to the table here with any sort of opportunity.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyler's in perfect shape here just to run it out anyway, but he'll do it using the clock.
That's right, because you want to get rid of the last minute or so, right?
Yeah. The minute he gets past about 30 seconds, he's going to have won the match, really.
Speed control there doesn't really matter. It looked like he was maybe trying to see if he could pull back for the 9 right there, but he's got all these options down table to work with. Maybe he was checking the line off of the rail here, off the second. Yeah. To see what he wanted to shoot on the 9 later, but honestly, at this point, with the way the balls are spread and the shot-making capability that this guy has, he could probably make any ball across the whole table as it is anyway. So
yeah, it's a case of, does he beat the clock and get to 6, or does the clock run out? He knows the match is won. It's a comfortable feeling. You don't get that very often in pool unless you're playing ultimate pool and shootouts.
Right.
He's with what, just over the 20 to go. Essentially can't lose from here, so he can just enjoy himself. What a match this has been. It really has. Neither player deserves to be on the wrong end of it, but it will be the Frenchman Christophe Lambert, who unfortunately has to bow out.
And there's the handshake.
Yeah, that is it. What a match.
What a match to end on a scratch on the break.
Tough one for Christophe Lambert, but brilliant stuff from Tyler Styer. He gets himself into the semi-finals. An incredible match. We have plenty more incredible matches on the way.